Hello Ever After High fans. So today I'm making a video about our very own Darling Charming. But I want to take you down the rabbit hole with me and show you how I got to making this video. So basically, I forget this creator's name, but a while ago a creator had made a video about Ever After High on YouTube where they talked about plot holes and stuff and how they would do Ever After High or something like that. And then I followed that person, and then later on they made a video where they read the Ever After High books, and then I clicked into it and I was like, wait, I should read the Ever After High books, because if I reread them, I want to do videos about them and I want my own honest reaction. So I didn't watch that video, I kind of put it away, and I think since then they've made other Ever After High videos, but I haven't watched them. Okay? So basically, I read the entire first Ever After High book. And today I was going to make a video about it, and I've been taking notes in here. I also have sticky notes. And then I realized I have to go vote today, and I really wanted to make this video good and actually not write out a script, but have a better guideline before I just film the video. So basically I'm not filming that video today. I really want to get it up, but it's going to be my very first Ever After High book club video. And right now I only think I'm going to do the first 3 Ever After High books. I know there are more, which we'll talk about in this video. But today we are just going to be looking at Darling Charming. So basically, she's the Ever After High character that I have the most questions about. Her aesthetic is also blue and pink, which are my favorite colors. But yeah, let's just hop on down the rabbit hole. Also, in no way does this video have a script. I'm just going crazy because I just need to get all this stuff off my chest. So let's just discuss her being the White Knight, since we keep talking about this Alice in Wonderland stuff. So she is the White Knight in the show and in the specials. In Way to Wonderland, you know what I mean. She's literally the White Knight. That's how we are introduced to her in the show. First, in the book, she is a character. It's kind of weird. In the show, before we see her as the White Knight, we never see her in the background of any scenes or anything, but in the book she's in it from the very beginning, which is very interesting. But I kind of just want to use the show for this, and we'll discuss why I just want to use the show for this analysis of Darling Charming later, because I don't really think the books totally get her character. But anyway, a while ago I had made a TikTok asking the question, okay, how on earth is Darling the White Knight? How did she learn to fight? How does she get to Wonderland? My question was, in the books, and they don't say it in the show, but I would assume, since they never show who it is in the show, it's the same person. The royal girls, the princesses, their counselor is the White Queen from Wonderland. So I would assume that would be the same in the show and the book, since they never specifically mention it's not her in the show. And generally, if things don't conflict from the books and the show, you can just assume that they're the same. It's more a problem when plot points conflict, which again we'll get to later. But anyway, so I made this video and I was like, did the White Queen help her? Because to be honest, we don't know that much about the White Queen. But she acts, let's just say, very conservative. She's very proper. She likes the princesses to act like proper princesses. She makes everybody address her as your Royal Majesty, or some crazy title like that. But we don't actually know that much about her character. So my question is that all for performance, and did she really help Darling become the White Knight? Because to be a knight, you have to be knighted by a queen. Now, Chase Redford, he's the Red Knight, who's Darling's opponent. Now, the thing about him is he's adopted by the Red Queen in Wonderland. So it's obviously that she made him the Red Knight. Now, when I made a video about this on TikTok before, people were like, oh, well, Darling just got the armor from Dexter, because in the book, how she trained is that she just pretended to be Dexter and went to his classes in armor so nobody knew it was her. But in the show, she specifically has the White Knight's armor, so I don't think that's a total, that's kind of a conflicting plot point, but also I don't think that explains how she is specifically the White Knight. Yes, it explains how she got trained, because that was part of my question. How did she get trained to be a knight? but that's not how she would specifically become the White Knight. Also, something that nobody else has been able to explain to me is how on earth did she get to Wonderland? Because we know the other characters have, you know, fallen through the Well of Wonder. We know Raven accidentally cast a spell. But let me tell you, when Raven cast the spell to send the other girls to Wonderland and away to Wonderland, Darling does not go through that rabbit hole. She goes through her own rabbit hole. She is also able to get back and forth and spring unsprung in her armor. Never explained. But, you know, wouldn't it be convenient if, you know, since the White Queen is a queen of Wonderland, she's in a position of power, if she was the only one who had some fail-safe method to get back to Wonderland even after the Evil Queen's curse, maybe that Baba Yaga and Milton Grimm didn't even know about. That's all I'm going to say. They never explain what it is. But I do believe, this is just my theory, that maybe the White Queen helped Darling out. And that's how it gave her some way to get between Wonderland and Ever After. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that. But the other thing that I want to contribute to this is it's kind of confusing because we talk about Darling as the White Knight, but I've also made TikToks about this where I've been like, yeah, she was supposed to be Applewhite's, like, Princess Charming, like, that was her destiny. Which is kind of confusing because she was also the White Knight. So can somebody have two destinies? I don't know. Okay, I do have something to add to this. Hunter Huntsman is supposed to be the huntsman from Snow White and also from Little Red Riding Hood. So I think it's possible for somebody to have, like, two destined paths if they don't conflict with each other. But also, I don't even know if that matters because Darling is a rebel anyway. That's another question. So she is a rebel. In the books, they do classify her as a royal. They do put her with the other royals, but I think she was always just, like, a rebel in secret. Because okay, I'm just gonna mention this. I was gonna wait till that other video I made to do this, but there is a scene when Raven doesn't sign where Darling faints. Like, she's so shocked that Raven didn't sign, but personally, I think the fainting, and people commented this on my TikTok that, like, oh, later in the book, she faints on Will, so, like, she kind of just fainted to distract people, like, she didn't actually really care that Raven didn't sign. It was actually good for her. I think at some point, she figured out what her destiny actually was, because in the books, like, Headmaster Grimm kind of gaslights her. He's like, yeah, you're just gonna be another damsel in distress. Yet, she doesn't even know what her fairy tale is. And another interesting thing is before they sign in the books, sorry, I said I wasn't going to use the books, but the books just give more depth into the character. And I think, like, using the very first book isn't necessarily bad because a lot of it is just, like, looking deeper into the character. So basically, Dexter doesn't know whose prince he's supposed to be. Only Daring knows. Which, again, in my mind, I think Daring just wanted to be Snow White's prince because that was, like, the most famous prince or something. Because, like, if you've seen Dragon Games, think about how famous Snow White is in that. Like, I think he just wanted the clout. I don't think he actually cared about Apple or anybody else. Which is why he had to go through the Beauty and the Beast fairy tale to learn his lesson that it's not all about looks, it's not all about fame, it's not all about money. Yeah. But so also when they sign, like, even though Daring, like, I don't even think Daring actually got to sign. No, he did. I think he did. So even though, like, him and Apple, whatever, they, like, see each other in the Storybook of Legends, that was the fake Storybook of Legends. So now we're gonna get more into the Darling thing. It's like, I think at some point Darling had to figure out that she was supposed to, like, wake Apple, and, like, I have no idea how she would have figured this out. Maybe at some point when she was in Wonderland, she looked at the real Storybook of Legends? Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about that before. So, like, it was in the library in Wonderland. Between Spring Unsprung and Way to Wonderland, she could have totally gone back and been like, you know what? Headmaster Grimm's telling me I'm going to be in a damsel in distress. I don't think this is true. So she goes and looks at her real destiny. So maybe that's how she knew, because basically in Dragon Games, there's a moment when, so Daring kisses her, and then it doesn't work, and then they're just like standing around, they're like whatever, and then Apple's choking, and then Darling goes up to her and she like listens, and then she like kisses her, and there's a moment where it looks like Darling realized something, because this is why I'm going to say this is going to conflict with the books, because I guess not in the Shannon Hale books, these are the ones that I've been going by, but in one of the other books by the authors, by not this author, one of the other authors, apparently they did say that it was CPR, which the animation did. I don't think, like, the writing in the show, it was supposed to be CPR, but I think Mattel wanted them to make it look like CPR, which I think Mattel might have told whatever author of that book it was to say it was CPR in the book. But first of all, if somebody is choking, you do not give them CPR, you give them the Heimlich maneuver, so that doesn't even make sense. And if somebody was under a magical curse, CPR would not make them from a magical curse. And if you were going to give them CPR, you would not start by breathing into their mouth, you would start with chest compression. So none of that even makes sense. So I think for Darling to do that, she somehow had to know. But again, she did also wait. Like, she let Daring kiss Apple first, so that it makes it seem like she wasn't 100% sure that she was actually supposed to wake Apple, which brings up a whole nother question, like, did she actually read in the Storybook of Legends, or was it just like an instinct that came on? But another thing that could have been happening is that she didn't want people to like know that she had like looked at the real Storybook of Legends or something. I don't know, maybe she didn't want to reveal that to people, so she just let Daring do it, and then she like pretended it was CPR. This is why this video is just me questions about Darling. Like, none of this makes sense to me. Yeah, I think that's all for this video. It was mainly just questions about, okay, like we know that she's the White Knight, but people don't ask like, how did she become the White Knight? And also just the fact that make a lot of comments about like what Darling's destiny is supposed to be, or if like she actually woke Apple, or if it was CPR. And I think people just don't think about the fact that even if it was CPR, it makes no sense. So yeah, that's my video about Darling. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am kind of dressed like her. So anyway, please comment, like, and subscribe. Check out my TikTok for more Ever After High content. And please look out for this Ever After High book club video that's coming up. You guys will really enjoy it. Like, there are just like, in this book, let me tell you, in this book, there's like moments of gold that I found. And I was just like, you know, cause like, you know about my theory. Like, Apple White and Raven Queen were swapped at birth. Like, there are just moments in this book where I'm like, nope, like not that I expect you guys to comment like a ton of stuff on my YouTube videos, but you guys bring up a lot of good points on my YouTube video. I honestly want to do another whole YouTube video, like going through the comments of that Raven Queen and Apple White swapped at birth video, because there's a lot of good points, but there are even greater points from this book that like support the theory that nobody has brought up. I think I've made a few TikToks about them since I've read this, but like there's just like even more stuff in here that supports the theory, and it's really crazy. So look out for this video, because I will bring up all those points in that video. There's going to be a whole section in that first Ever After High book club video about the swapped at birth theory and looking at even more evidence from this book. And again, I also want to do another video looking at your comments, because there's so many great comments. I just need to sort through all the comments. But anyway, guys, again, go follow my TikTok for like little updates. Comment, like, subscribe. My Instagram will also be in the description. I need to post more on there. Bye, guys.